I'm
So
here.
I heard
Jun
you
Wei
were
here.
a scholar last time.
Whoa,
Whoa. We were English, right? Major. Got A's for everything. Right?
you are English major?
Wait, English major means you study the English language.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Damn,
Literature.
It's damn tough
We got a lot of teacher calibers here.
Actually, we really have it. Wow, actually, really a lot of educators. I feel left out.
Yeah, you can be an educator right now. Teach the summer people what to do.
Okay, so we're gonna kickstart. Hey, where's the camera? Here.
So this
Okay, but I can talk to the close up first also, right? Okay, can. Ready and go. 你们准备好了没有？
准备好啦 Let's go!
还没好也是要好
I
啊。
know we're going to ramp up the banter series lah. Now that NLC is over, we have a bit more time, and we are creating new content for this. So today is going to be a kickstart of a brand new content series. We're going to introduce our personas, and of course, thanks to AI images, it looks really realistic. By the way, we have started to introduce all the personas at our landed convention. Landed convention, we introduced the 4 horses. New launch convention that we have just ended on the 7th of July 2024 at Suntec. Thank you for joining us. The total had about 1,114
Wow.
tickets sold.
Yes.
And about 800 over participants came, started from about 10 a.m. all the way to about 6 p.m. Thank you for joining us. We talk about 6 different frameworks for new launch condos selection. And today's banter series, we're going to kickstart the introduction of personas and case studies. Let's first talk about the 4 seasons first and how these personas fit into the 4th season. And this, basically the calibration of all these seasons, let me just screen. Basically, we categorize it as spring, summer, autumn, winter. So is it because a lot of people are traveling, Jun Wei, Jesley?
Maybe.
Now it's considered what? July is summer.
Now it's summer. Summer.
It seems like the revenge traveling has not ended. It's like
It's been ramping up.
No, it's not the new trend. It's not
What
the
is that?
new trend. Like every season, if they can escape the city, they will. And especially because Singapore is like one season. Honestly, we are like just one season, one whole year only got one summer.
well, was traveling more aggressive before COVID or after COVID?
After COVID,
For sure. After.
Like before COVID, actually,
it was quite normal.
It's like 1 year travel one time.
but now it's like
End of the year travel one time. Now it's like every season, no? Like what I just said.
every quarter people
It's
travel.
true. It's true.
Like even if it's
I
just
do-
a short trip.
Yeah, even if it's just a short trip, a solo trip.
Is it because life is getting more stressful?
No, I think there is a
Maybe.
fear inside. Like they will
Maybe.
think like, what if it happens again? What if COVID happens again?
Oh, and I can't travel.
And I
Yeah.
can't
I
travel.
better travel as much as I can now.
Correct. Because a lot of people
I think-
have a lot of regrets, like, I should have traveled before, this thing happened. But you never know, right?
Yeah, it's like this kind of really pandemic really shapes our thinking and our behavior. And we crafted this 4 seasons because these 4 seasons are calibrated based on the age range. And basically, we want to classify spring, summer, autumn, winter. Winter being the defensive stage of investing. And all these are related to the investment appetite for property investing. So usually, when we talk about winter, you should be in the range of about 55 to 65. Planning for a little bit of like enjoying the fruits of your labor. Because when it comes to asset investing, although like a lot of high net worth people, they have legacy planning for their children, but they also will take a balanced approach to so-called enjoy a little bit of their assets as well. It's not just about just storing wealth for the next gen. It's also about enjoying their wealth because of their hard work for the last 10, 20, 30 years. So autumn will be somebody in their 45 to 55. Usually autumn is like the last season for investing and they want to really capitalize as much as they can. And hey, I'm not that. Yeah, I'm still in summer. Hey, I'm still in summer.
Yeah, still summer. Sorry.
Just now, Jesley very bad. She said she want to invite Christina to represent autumn. Oh my goodness.
No,
I'm gonna
represent
flash
winter.
Christina's face here. Winter. Christina 还没有55啦。
Well, then I think winter stage.
Reggie is what? 59, winter season.
Winter
yeah.
season.
Thankfully, Reggie did his final accumulation. He bought his property already. And then summer will be 35 to 45 and spring is 25 to 35. Yes. Oh. Jesley.
Jesley is in the summer stage. And I really find that you took a lot of effort to plan this out, because I think like you're already like 75% there. Like you really pinpoint exactly, what each and every of different seasons require.
Right. But really kudos to our team to do out these slides. I mean, they really beautified the slides until so nicely. I think a lot of people are also in the 35 to 45 stage to stack up their assets. And this is also, I think, the season that is the most stressful, where everything comes together. 45 to 55 as well, because you are usually in a careers that maybe you are in the managerial stage, or you already have deeply specialized in something, or you already have multiple businesses, or you are already like in the management level. But this is also a stage that new fears will arise, because some people will be a little bit afraid that they will be laid off, and maybe there's like a mid-career crisis and things like that. And that's the time that your kids are in the teens, your mortgage is the highest, perhaps your car has been fully paid, but you have a lot of commitment. 25 to 35 is the exploration stage, right, Jun?
Yeah, that's where I'm at now.
And very aggressive, because you sort of like have nothing to lose.
True.
Low commitment. Maybe you are starting to build up your savings, your investment, and
Fearless.
Yeah, you are like fearless. You can take
Just
a lot of
chong
risks. Yeah, just chong, right?
Just chong, yeah.
Yeah, but usually if by 35 you have not accumulated anything, then they will start to have an early mid-career crisis. Don't they? It's like if you explore for 10 years already after you graduate,
How come still exploring?
but you go like, hey, 我还没有 like 争取到什么东西, right?
Actually, it's true, because I have friends who are obviously in the spring season, right? Maybe around the late 20s, early 30s stage is when they suddenly have a realization, is this what I want to do for the long term? Is this what I want to do for the rest of my life? Yeah, then have a bit of a mid-career crisis. They start questioning, should I be doing this?
And it's like very early, right? Maybe 29 they start to have already.
It's true, yeah. 28, 29. Lor.
My era is that people usually 35, then they will start. Or 40, but now it's like, I can see a lot more young people having like mid-career crisis 29. Correct or not, then? Are you having a career crisis?
No, I'm having the best.
Good lah. Please don't
That's
don't
what
leave.
exactly you should tell your
How
boss.
are you then? How are you?
See? Good
You're
lah. This is our
going to be
NOTG got
summer
hope.
soon.
Oh.
Doretta, how are you? 29.
Oh.
I didn't know, same age.
She used to have a mid-career crisis lah. Thank God she came here.
Stabilized already now.
Well, anyway, she's getting married. Congrats, Doretta.
Congrats.
Congratulations.
Okay, so this is to introduce. Oh my goodness, like are all this realistic?
I think they are real people. I'm pretty sure someone out there
This
in the
AI,
world
right?
will look
This
like
AI
that.
generator.
This AI generated is like
Wow.
real AI, but really they take all the features for all human beings and make it into like.
I'm pretty sure I see a Maverick and a Charmaine before. It's like a classic Asian face. What? Hey, if your face look like that, please let us know, because like we need to do our due diligence, right?
Ian and Grace looks like a very nice couple.
Yeah, so sweet,
Like very perfect.
Yeah.
A bit like Korean couple.
Wow, Ella and Justina looks like they own 3 landed property.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Then, okay. The reason why we have so many people in the spring season is because we also recognize that we have a lot of clients and also friends and network that now is like the new demographics.
Yeah.
Because all over the world, not just in Singapore, people are marrying later. A lot of people are choosing to remain single. There's also starting to be a new era of high income professionals
We call
who
them
are single.
Dinks.
Yeah.
DINK.
Yeah.
Dual income, no kids.
Or dual income no kids will be like Wayne and Joanne, and also John and Michelle.
Yeah.
Or Ian and Grace. But we also want to talk about Maverick and Charmaine, because a lot of high income earners are single and they are stuck in the sense that because they cannot touch a HDB apartment before 35, they usually will explore private properties before 35 or even at between 25 to 30. So there's a rising group of this group of property buyers as well. So these are our 7 groups, which we will bring everyone through the next 6 months. And in fact, if these personas are good and lasting, we might add on, we'll modify, but it should last us for the next 6 months and maybe even longer, which will start to really talk about case studies pertaining to their profile. Okay? So with that, let's introduce the first profile that we want to talk about today, which is Wayne and Joanne. So maybe Jun Wei, bring us through this profile.
Okay, so this profile, Persona A, first time buyers, both 27 years old. Wow, this is my age range. Income 4,000 each, so combined income of $8,000. Newly married, so they are all also getting into their first full-time job after graduation, right? Probably Joanne would have already started work a little bit earlier, because for ladies, if you are not going through NS, by the time you finish uni, you'll be what, 22,
23.
Yeah, quite young, 22, 23. So probably would have worked for a couple of years. That means CPF would have some savings there as well already. And over here, they're looking at upgrading. They're looking at capital gains. And well, okay, not so much upgrading. I would say they're looking at building that foundation also, right? So they're probably buying their first matrimonial home, something to start off with for them to build their family and all that. So these are some of their fears. Actually, they got a lot of fears, which is normal, right? Expected. People at this age, you don't have too much experience into dabbling into properties investing yet. You probably have all these fears that are in the back of your head. So, not sure about the property market, picking up on career, unsure of conflicting advisors. So, at this stage, you probably will have a lot of noise, right? External noises coming from your parents, coming from your friends, coming from I would say your group, in fact, your group of friends who have other friends as well. You'll start to compare, you'll start to see, this person bought a private property at this age. Should I be diving into that? Or should I start off with a BTO first and all that? Going into BTO and HDB and then realizing later on the setup for the ownership was not planned in advance. This is very interesting because later on we have a case study and we're going to talk a little bit about a couple actually that we met recently in the exact same situation. Yeah, and then we'll share a little bit on later on. Yeah. Investing in wrong properties could set the person back for years. Yes, buying the wrong property, going for rental yield play instead of capital growth increase. Yeah. Their desires is they hope to set themselves up for the first correct property.
Yeah, and I agree with you that this category is like everybody is trying to give you advice.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I mean like when you go for gatherings, how old are you by the way?
I'm 28.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
This is exactly where I'm at now.
No, but you're like maverick, I think.
Oh yes, just that I got no girlfriend so.
Come soon.
So it's like, is it true that when you go for gatherings, like everybody's like trying to give you advice, like you should do this, you should do that, you should buy this, buy that, and then you're always talking about like next job and like stuff
it's
like
so true because when I gather with my friends now, right, we used to be talking about our jobs or a bit of gossip here and there. It's normal.
Now who got what job and all that, who is working where? Okay.
Now at every dinner gathering, it's about which BTO project. What to look out for when selecting a BTO project. Should I go ahead and buy HDB resale? Should I maybe get a little bit of parent support, go straight into the private property market? It's all about housing. Yeah, so I would say this is actually very relevant and very real that's happening in out there in the market.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And this is usually the age that people are starting to ROM, planning for their marriage. They have dated for a couple of years.
Except for me.
And they want to get their purchase done before 30, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And a lot of so this group of buyers, right, they are so savvy. They read a lot of articles online. They watch a lot of videos online. They are so well versed about the property market, right, that sometimes they get confused themselves. Yeah, because they read so many information from so many sources, right? They don't know which one to listen to. Yeah, so that's where the dilemma will come in.
And it's like zero experience in purchasing.
Correct.
Zero experience in selling. And this is like a brand new asset class.
Yeah.
Right. Jesley, what are your thoughts on this particular group? Do you have clients in this group?
I used to be in this group, and in fact, I have 2 failed BTO attempts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so This is a very
Two failed
dangerous.
attempts, okay.
Yeah, the very dangerous stage.
Oh.
Because like it costs you only $10 to go and apply. Yeah, just $10 is like quick toto like that, you know. Like what if you get it right, it means like this relationship has a hope to it. So we are like trying to, there is a total or like a strike lucky draw kind of effect lah. So at that point of time, it really is like that. I just the relationship haven't stable yet, right? Just whack the $10 first. Man, I got a really good number. So because of the number, I went ahead. But because like it wasn't a stable relationship, then eventually we fell through. Yeah, so need to be very careful lah for
How much
all of.
do you lose?
Yeah, do you lose money? I was about to lose money.
And all
Yeah,
that?
there was you need to put a little bit of down payment. Now they are better already. They will return you. But last time, right, they won't return. I think about 12 to 15K in my CPF.
So the down
so
payment.
From what I understand, right, if you had already selected a unit, you take the grant already. Let's say you want to forfeit after that, right? You pay back the grant.
Only.
Ah.
That's great.
You pay back the
That's
grant.
for now, I think like.
But it depends on how much grant you're taking. You're taking like 20 over 1,000 grant, 30 over 1,000 grant. Of course, you half with your partner, and then there will be each person what? 10K, 15K? Yeah. So it's still quite painful.
It is.
How long do you wait for that BTO to materialize?
So I got the number, but I never wait until like, it built finish.
Was it the first BTO that you put $10? You got it already.
Yeah, it's I got.
Wow, actually very lucky,
I really got very good luck just for BTOs only. I never strike 4D before or Toto before, but for BTO I got very good luck.
Right. So like okay, maybe before I talk about second profile, let's dive into the first profile first. My first question is, how long do you think a couple in this persona should wait in terms of the BTO attempts? Like how many years should they dedicate?
Wow.
Yeah, because that is a very common question.
I have my answer.
Yes.
2 years.
Why 2 years?
Every quarter will have one launch.
Depends.
About there.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Now
they're ramping up.
I have friends, real friends, that's tried 8 times.
What?
She has never gotten, and she will
Anything.
know who, she has never gotten a number that can select a good unit.
So 2
She's
years.
now a mom of 3 kids. She had to go resale. She had to.
So after
like-
8 rounds, they went resale,
Yeah, like
which is 2 years plus.
about 2 years. Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes
Wow.
like
Was it because that the queue number was no good, or because they always like, by the time they are selecting, there's always like second floor, then they don't want?
yeah, correct.
Okay.
The number can let you select something, but it's like not much of a choice. Like you have to suck it up. Like, maybe it's on the second level, third level.
Or maybe face a rubbish shoot and stuff like that.
something that you
Face the bus
cannot
stop.
deal with lah.
Yeah.
Then you rather
Like I need to close 1.5 eye that kind. Then,
No,
then
both
go ahead.
eyes.
Oh,
Like,
close one eye, go
both
ahead.
eyes. Then they will be okay with that unit. Yeah.
Okay. I think, in fact, my opinion is 2 years is too long.
How many years would you
I
like?
would. Okay, personally, I would look at it from a broader perspective on, let's say I have done family planning lah.
Mm.
I intend to have kids at this age.
Mm.
I intend to maybe have a career switch at this age and all that. From there, I count backwards.
Mm.
Yeah, because you have to factor in time like construction period, MOP, and when you intend to go for your next upgrade and all these things.
Yeah.
I think all these things, if you, let's say you plan ahead and then you count backwards from there, that should give you an indication of how long you should be trying for a BTO. And by when, if you, let's say you cannot get a BTO, you should probably go for a resale option already.
Mm.
And start to look at other options, yeah.
Someone, I mean, like if it's like, it also depends whether is it standard plus prime.
Mm.
Yeah.
Correct.
If it's plus and prime, MOP is already 10 years.
10 years.
Construction is 4 to 5 years.
Mm.
Then you wait another 2 years for your chance, or you are waiting for the next plus or prime to come up, and you spend about 3 years. 3 plus 4 plus 10, that's about 17 years. So by the time they will be about 44 years old already,
Wow.
when they can exit this very first property.
That would be what? Which season already?
Go straight into the summer
Autumn
season.
already.
Already, yeah.
Almost autumn season already.
直接去 autumn.
So when we talk about all these factors, like
Okay.
Yeah,
So
what are
okay,
these?
this is basically a case study of a client that I recently met.
Mm.
And this is the situation that they're in.
okay,
So I explain a bit first.
right.
When we met them, they told us that they have already gotten a BTO at Tengah under the fiancé scheme. And they select unit already. So right now they're just waiting for the second appointment to go and do the down payment. So down payment not paid yet, but already selected which unit they want.
Okay.
Yeah, in terms of grant, they are not taking any. because the income is quite close to the ceiling lah. Yeah, so they are not. I guess they are not eligible for too much of a grant. They explain that they suddenly have a cash windfall. Okay, so suddenly there's injection of funds. Now they're thinking, should I be buying a second property? So when they came to us in the first place, their first thought was that they have already changed the ownership to an owner and essential occupier. So initially their intention was to buy under two names. Then when they had this cash windfall, they decided, okay, why not let's buy under one person as the owner, the wife, and then the husband will be the occupier. And his intention was that I want to buy a private property now.
Did they teach you how to activate the cash inflow?
They never.
I also wonder. They should prompt more questions.
They never.
It's not part of the consultation.
No, it's not.
So they want to invest in private properties. Then they went to HDB to change to owner-occupier.
Correct. So they changed before they met us. So when they met us, of course, I have to deliver the first piece of bad news lah.
Yeah.
Which is you cannot buy now. You have, as an essential occupier, you have to still fulfill your 5
So
years.
they thought that they can buy now.
They thought they can buy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
So okay.
So they got the first piece of puzzle correct.
The exact words that they used was that they decouple their BTO. So just FYI also, HDB no such thing as decoupling anymore. So if let's say your intention is to have it under one name, the other person as an essential occupier, you can only do this from the onset. During at the point of purchase. You can't change it sometime down the road. Let's say once you've already gone through with the purchase. Yeah. So this is the situation that they're in. So I explained, of course, that you can't buy now, but then we dive a bit deeper. Is there a case for you to, let's say, drop the BTO entirely? Because you suddenly have a cash windfall, right? And then drop the BTO entirely. Let's say you have to pay a bit of penalty, legal fees and all this, go ahead. Does it make sense for you to immediately go and buy one each? Private. Private. You can't buy resale also, because you buy resale also 5 years MOP.
Same.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was what we went into detail of.
All the pros and cons.
Pros and cons and what we recommend. I wouldn't say what we recommend. We just lay out, these are your options. Then you let them decide whether you want to take this leap or not.
Right. So this is basically their calculation.
Correct. So this one I redraw a bit because
it's
just very messy
Okay. So of course disclaimer is that I think Jun Wei make it like more like generalized. It's not the exact details.
Correct.
Yeah, because all these are just for illustration and educational purposes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you look at the name, I go and put Ronaldo and Messi because the
I thought it was their actual name.
we can't review all actual details.
So I changed the name.
This is just a fictitious example.
Okay.
Yes. So age also again in the this season, which is spring. 29 and 28 years old, income 7,000, 5,002, combined income 12,000 plus.
Okay.
So quite high actually, a combined income.
Yeah.
We did a loan assessment. So max loan with these figures will come out to about 1.2 if let's say they combine. Separately, we'll have 750k, 540k around there for each of them. Right? Loan tenure can go up to 30 years, no problem, because they're still very young. CPF OA currently is at these figures, 41,000, 47,000. That cash windfall that we're talking about is at 700,000. Yeah, so actually a very substantial amount of cash.
Yes.
And that's why we wanted to toy with the idea of, let's say, can you kickstart your private property journey immediately
by giving out your BTO?
Exactly. So on the right side, you can see there's the timeline that we briefly drew out. They bought a BTO at Tengah, 490k for a 4-room flat. In fact, the project is a very good project. Right next to the upcoming MRT and all that.
And this belongs to the old scheme, 5 years MOP.
Correct, 5 years MOP. On the bottom of the timeline is where we put in their age. Just for easy reference lah. Okay, so if let's say they go ahead with the BTO, they will collect the keys in 2027. 5 years MOP from them will bring them to 2032. By the time they are able to exit and upgrade, will be 36, 37 years old. Right? Whereas if let's say they were to jump into the private property market immediately, now 2024, 3 years later, they can decide they want to exit or they want to hold. If let's say they can go ahead and buy 2, they can decide to exit 1, hold the other one, or exit both, consolidate and go and upgrade into something bigger. there are options for them, right? And then another 3-year cycle later, you can also again decide to exit or hold. So 1 and 2 cycles, even before they hit MOP, if they were to go with the BTO.
Share a bit about the 2.3, 2.7, 3.2.
Yeah, so that one, that is what we calculate as an overall asset value at this different time, at this different point in time, right? So if let's say they are able to enter into something that's, let's say, a 1.3 million for own stay, another 1 million for an investment property, bringing their total to 2.3 million at this point in time. 3 years later, we assume a little bit of appreciation, bringing their asset to about 2.7 million. And then another 3 more years later, goes up to 3.2. So
basically, the 2.3 is derived from all this amount combined, the loan at about 1.3.
Correct. So in the next slide, right, we went into a bit more deeper calculation also to look at 2 main options. Yeah, the first one is if let's say they combine names, they go and buy into a 3-bedder now, 1.7 million. Yeah. Second option is they buy 2, 1 each. Of course, this will involve a little bit of showing of funds and all that to pump up the loan and all. But it's just a matter of shifting the funds around and see how that can work out. But we eventually derive at 1.3 million for own stay, a 3-bedder in OCR, and then a 2-bedder in OCR for investment, 1 million quantum. Yeah. They can do that, or they go and buy 2-bedder.
So this is basically I think like a very good case study to showcase that actually there are ways to also like bump up the loan a little bit.
Correct.
Because like if we look at a previous calculation, Ronaldo can only loan 753,000. Then Messi is 545,000. So on the surface, it looks like it's 1.278.
Correct.
And of course, the basic calculation is that we take 1.278 plus the $88,000. That will bring us to maybe 1.367 mil plus 700,000 will be about 2.07. But why is it that Jun Wei can calculate on a higher loan basis on 2.3 million total purchase price? Because there's this show of funds over here. Yeah, maybe Jun Wei or Jesley bring us through on this portion. Like, how do you get this portion over here?
Okay, so showing of funds is just another term that we use very broadly. But the proper term would be unpledging. So when it comes to taking of loan, right, of course, the banks will always apply either a MSR limit or a TDSR limit, depending on what you're buying. And then that's how they determine the max loan that you're able to get. Now, in some cases, the client may want to stretch the loan a little bit more, just to make sure that they can go up to the next quantum, buy that category of property that they want to buy. And that is doable. Either they can do it through unpledging or pledging. So pledging is something like a fixed deposit, right? You put a certain amount with the banks for, let's say, 3 to 4 years. For the amount that you put in, they're willing to bump up your loan for you. The other one would then be a little bit more commonly practiced, I would say, is unpledging, which is showing of funds. That means you show the banks that you have this amount in your bank account. They're willing to bump up the loan to maybe a next year.
Yeah. Actually, all these calculators are available on our PLB website under PLB tools. You can just head on to calculators, or if you need help from our consultants, you can scan the QR code or link below. Basically, the logic is that banks, they look at this as a certainty point of view, in the sense that a lot of high net worth individuals, they do not have a high level of salary. Maybe they're running their own business, or maybe they have funds everywhere overseas in different businesses, and they are shareholders, but they have cash. So banks are hunting for certainty, meaning that actually you already have this amount. It's just that you prefer to leverage. And sometimes maybe an investor, they have $2 million cash in the bank, but they still prefer to leverage and take a $1 million mortgage, and they don't want to fully pay the property, because the logic of leveraging is that with the $2 million cash, they can generate better yield outside, maybe in certain instruments like an ETF fund, or maybe they just invest in the S&P 500 or certain bonds and stuff, or maybe T-bills. They can generate like 4 to 6%. But if they leverage on the bank's mortgage, they can get a loan for 2.8. So that 4 to 6% wins the 2.88, and this is called like an arbitrage or disparity kind of leveraging, and that's usually how property investors try to so-called like phantom this kind of mindset. Rather than having the cash stuck in the property, they let the cash work harder for them, and they leverage.
They leverage from the banks.
And the bank's point of view is that, okay, you already have this amount, you have the ability to repay, it's just that you want to leverage, and all the more they want to do your business. So this is unpledging, show of funds. The other mode if you do pledging, your funds are stuck for 4 years, you need to showcase lesser than this amount.
Correct.
But the downside is that your funds will be stuck for 4 years.
Yeah.
Maybe let's talk about this also, Jesley. Maybe talk about this myth in the market, because there was a lot of hoo-ha and everybody was very afraid of this 991 is like totally banned for the whole market, right?
Yeah.
Why is it for resale property, you're still allowed to do that? And if let's say the intent of purchasing, whether is it a new launch property right from the start, is to have this, and is a legitimate case, is not to defray any form of financing, because the big hoo-ha came about because certain buyers was using this method to leverage the name of a younger person.
Yep, and to avoid taxes.
Avoid the ABSD, and then they will like sort of remove or add their name on the later part of the SMP. But for legitimate cases, why is this still allowed?
So this has been going around for the longest time, and these are legitimate cases. It's not like we are avoiding. So I have a lot of clients that they have a lot of fear because they see a lot of articles that pop out. Wow, ABSD 991 cannot do. No, it's illegal. But they need to know like what exactly was illegal was that this pool of buyers, they wanted to siam the ABSD, and as such they have a change of ownership in between before the completion of the sale. So that is what caught the IRA's attention. But for legit cases, right, the 991, this is actually to help couples who have the intention down the road to help in their asset progression. Let me say, if let's say currently just on a single loan, their current individual TDSR is not able to bump up a certain loan to buy this particular quantum, then maybe we will need the spouse's loan as well to step in as a 99%, and then the other person will be holding 1% in order to be able to sustain this loan. Then usually after 3 years, when the SSD seller stamp duty is fulfilled already, then we have the options, the flexibility and lesser cost when it comes to decoupling. Yeah, so it's easier to just take out that 1%, just pay the legal fee. I think it's about like maybe 8,000 or so. Yeah, just take out that one name so that now the spouse is able to free up her name and then buy another asset for their progression.
Yeah. So maybe let's give a bit of illustration over here. So basically what is happening is that, sorry, how to add new slide? Oh, here. Okay. Swaku.
Black color one.
Hey, how to play? Okay. Too long never use iPad now. Okay. So what happened is that what is not allowed. So let's talk about the not allowed situation. Basically what is not allowed is that the not allowed case is that, let's say you buy a new launch, and actually this can only be done in a new launch situation, because new launch situation is that you don't have to take a loan first. You can delay the letter of offer. So basically, there'll be two person, okay? One person is that they already have properties already. So when they touch a property, they will have to pay ABSD. But this guy happens to be the high income earner, and this guy can get loan, right? So maybe this guy has a property fully paid. They can technically take a 75% loan, but because they will hit the ABSD, right? So because this will be their second property. This guy is clean. There's no property under the name, so there's no ABSD, but maybe the income is low. Maybe the income is only like, maybe this is a son or the nephew, right? Maybe just started work, earn $3,000. Totally cannot get loan. So when they go and buy a new launch, what happens is like this. They will first put, of course, the 5% booking fee first. And then once they executed the SMP, and they have paid the BSD, then they will come in here and say that they want to add in one more name, and they want to sell 1% to this person here. So they want to sell this 1% to this person, and this person technically only will pay 1% ABSD. And then once the name is added in, then they will go and take loan using this person's name as the solid income earner. So this is illegal. Because this is a direct intent to avoid the ABSD at the full amount. Because by right, if this 2% were to go in at the beginning stage, they will be taxed the full amount of ABSD over here, which is like 20% on the second property, regardless of whether this one has property or not. So the actual case is that if let's say we talk about the legitimate one, it's all about the intent. So when we talk about the intent, it means that at the start, let's say you are a couple, you already have an intent to buy this property from the start with two names. But you have a future planning, let's say after 3 years, or maybe in between, you actually want to maybe at the second year, you want to remove 1% out. And you remove this 1%, you still have to pay SSD on that 1%. But right on from the start, you're already buying it as a couple with like no ABSD. Or even like if this is your second property, you're buying 2 names, you're already paying ABSD. There's no intent to defray any form of ABSD. Because for couples, especially like this particular case study, they, whether buying 1 or 2 names, they don't have to pay ABSD anyway.
Correct.
They are putting it just for future planning reason, because maybe after 2 or 3 years, their income level will have risen and they want to remove one person's name out and they want to go and buy a second property. And the reason why they're doing it in the first place is because they want to qualify for a higher loan. Or they want to use both persons' CPF. But there was no intent to avoid any ABSD because there was no ABSD to pay in the first place. Yeah. So this is totally still allowed.
Legal.
Right? Legal, right. Okay, so in the end, what happened to this?
Actually, now they are still in the deciding process.
So this podcast is for them.
Not for them lah, but it's just nice. Just nice the cases are match. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So then in the midst of deciding,
in the midst of deciding whether should they give up the BTO, go ahead and buy one private first, do a 99 one, or immediately go and whack and buy 2.
Right.
Because based on calculation, they can buy 2. It's just that quantum wise is a bit tight. Of course, supply, in today's context, you want to find a 3-bedder, 1.3 million, also very difficult.
Very tough lah. So the recommendation is that 1 3-bedder OCR, 1 2-bedder OCR. 1.3, 1.
Yes.
Okay. If not, just buy a big one. Or maybe go for a 4-bedder or something.
Because on top of just looking at how they structure things, right, they also have their own planning to account for. For example, let's say they intend to have kids, they want to go certain schools. Yeah. So if they want to go certain schools, chances are 3-bedder OCR, that quantum, right, you cannot get anything that's within 1 click to, let's say, a very popular school.
Right.
So if the idea is that they want to be within a popular school, then of course the quantum has to go up. And if that's the case, then we suggest maybe a 99 one. And then, like you mentioned earlier on, in the spring season, this is the age where the income will rise tremendously at a very fast rate. Right?
Yeah. So usually like here, I think their income will start to rise already.
Correct. So if that is the case and they make plans for it, they are more intentional about it, then the 99 one could work for them. Yeah.
And I think it's really about the time opportunity cost, right? It's like over here, now you're 28, 29, here is a good, I mean like this part will be like 3 plus 5. It's a good 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah. So like the 8 years of your prime age, I think is an important consideration. It's not just about the kind of property, but also the fact that you can do 2 rounds over here.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, I think there's also another method in the sense that if there's a school consideration, they can do an approach called Rentvesting. They can either go for one big one, 3 or 4-bedder. They can go for a 3 or 4-bed, or they can go 3 plus 2 based on the quantum. And I think that whether it's a 3 or 4-bedder, as long as it's the OCR region with lots of HDB upgrading families, the absorption rate is like tremendous. I mean, now you look at the Property Guru listings, you see this 3-bedder pop out or 4-bedder pop out in the OCR region is like maybe in a month's time, you'll be gone.
Snap up already.
Snap up, right? Everybody's going for quantum below 1.8. It's like snapping up very quickly. You can get something that is palatable and easily exitable next time. And then you go and rent at, let's say you want to get into ACS, you want to get into whatever school, just rent there for 30 months. Yeah. And then let the rental here pay off these 2 progressively.
Another thing to also note is the 2-bedder OCR, right? 1 million quantum, based on that amount of loan that they're taking, right? So you notice the 2-bedder, we didn't suggest to go for a 75% loan, right? So you pay them a bit more. But that's also because you need the funds above for the 3-bedder. So whatever they're left with, you can go and top up on that 2-bedder already. But because the loan amount is not a stretch 75% loan, monthly your mortgage is only 2.2. 2-bedders now OCR, probably you're looking at a rental of let's say $3,000. 3,000. In fact, I think 3,001, 3,002 also doable. So that gives you positive cash flow as well. Even after your MCST fees, property tax, there will still be a bit of a positive cash flow there.
Because here maybe CPF is 1,200. So your cash is 1,000.
Yeah.
Then you take this, supplement this, you got a balance of 2,000 cash.
Correct. And that 2,000 you can be used to pay your own stay property as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Left pocket, right pocket, ma.
Yeah. Here maybe 1,200, then you have to top up about 2.8. But you use this 2K to pay for this. So you need to top up $800.
Correct. So actually to sustain it is doable. Doable, achievable. It's the structure from the onset that is important.
Yeah.
Because like we mentioned, right, people in the spring season, they are very fearful that their first time they made the wrong move. Then they maybe have to suffer a bit for the following years. So yeah, it's important to sit down, plan, and then see what are your options and then decide from there lah.
Yeah.
Can I share something?
Yes.
Let me share a bit more of a real life situation.
Yourself
Not myself. I'm just saying. I'm just thinking like because of their not myself. No, because like
Yourself
when it comes down realistically,
So is it yourself?
It's not.
Oh, okay.
I'm speaking on behalf of all my fellow friends. Okay, in front of NOTG.
Oh, what's the name?
The name
What's the
is
name?
Wayne and Joanne.
Okay, just kidding.
Okay, over here, you see, both of them are 27 years old. You are newly married. You don't have kids. The idea of splitting an asset, you buy one, I buy one, right? May not be something that they will play with. Because there is, I'm a female, good you are a female. There is an emotional insecurity happening over here. It really is. I have clients that have
real,
never talked about 99-1. Forever 50-50.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, so you have to understand like the mindset at the 27 years old is they just want a forever home. You know, they want to set the foundation.
Some stability.
So if let's say like your client, I take out some of the factors. If let's say don't have that 700K of input, that total effect, right? I think it could be wise for them to just hold on to the BTO as an occupier and owner. Then maybe after the MOP probably will have a kids. It will increase the type of motivation to even earn more. Then subsequently, now that they secure their pivot home already, then they can look for investment strategy.
Yeah.
I'm speaking for the masses here because like the idea is like, oh, okay, you buy one, I buy one, then like, how are we going to split? It's not together,
Okay, actually that gave me an idea. I think we should invite back last time, I think 2-3 years ago, we invited a divorce attorney to talk about actually some of the myths in the market. Like actually 991, majority of the cases is that even though it's 1%, the asset is still counted as like a shared asset when it comes to distribution.
Yeah, a lot of people don't
because
know
it's owned in tenancy in common ma.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean like the court will take into a lot of different scenarios lah. It's not just about that 1% means you own 1% of the property. There are certain myths and calculation. And also like maybe the owner occupier thing, we can also get the attorney's advice.
Good idea.
So I think good idea. Hey Dorota, help me to take note. Let's get
new guest coming.
Let's get Sarah Thomas back. Talk about
Sarah Thomas.
Assets when it comes to divorce situation. So maybe people can get a little bit more clarity.
Yeah, we see a lot
actually,
of,
that'll be very interesting.
Articles. Always follow a lot of articles on Straits Times. Then like,
but actually, good point that Jesley pointed that out.
Yeah.
Because
this can be a fear also,
it's
right?
a fear.
Yeah. That sometimes we notice also like certain clients, they know about this method, but they don't want to talk about it. They'd rather go like 50-50. A home is just for staying. Don't think so much about investment.
For now, like when you first started out.
Okay, great. Any other things you all want to talk about this first case study for Wayne and Joanne?
I think from initially when I looked at the numbers, right? Okay, let's say the
question: what if there's no 700,000?
Exactly. I was about to go on.
We've got 700,000.
Let's say there's no 700,000, right?
What would you have done? No 700,000. Look at this.
No 700,000.
I cancel this thing off.
I would be looking at an EC.
You advise them to go for EC?
Yes.
Okay.
I will advise them to go for EC. Because now in recent times, some of these EC launches are launching in locations that are extremely, extremely exciting. And we're talking about a lot of amenities, a lot of transport nodes.
Okay, calculate.
And all this. For what? EC purchase?
No 700,000. How would you structure this?
Let's say no 700,000. Their loan come up to 1.27. Right? If they're looking at EC, let's say a 3-bedder. How much will an EC 3-bedder cost? Brand new.
1,300.
Let's do some
Down 3,
calculations.
down 4 PSF.
1.6, 1.7.
Hey, no, now what's the PSF? 1,000?
1,000, 3,004 what?
1,300?
1,314
Let's say
lah,
1,000
so you can get, right?
1,004 PSF lah. You get a 3-bedder compact. 900 plus square feet.
900 over.
In fact, nowadays, 800 plus square feet 都有.
Because the waiting time is the same as the BTO.
Exactly. So if, okay, let's say assume a 950 square feet.
950.
Quantum 1.33. Extremely comfortable.
Where? What are the ECs available now?
There are some ECs that are going to be launching in OCR townships like Pasir Ris, Tampines.
Canberra still have or not?
Canberra, I think
Still like
no
have,
more already.
No more. I thought got up and coming
Too
one.
many already, that side. Tengah will have.
Mm.
Yes.
Actually, it seems
So
like
you
the
see-
EC season seems to be back. Because now
Correct.
the disparity is like a new launch is 2,224.
Correct.
Then this is
It's
like
too high
1,3 to 1,5. Then
Well, 700, 800
Yeah,
PSF. Yeah.
So even without that 700,000 cash windfall, a brand new EC makes sense. Right? You enter at a very low PSF, 1,000, 3,004, very palatable.
how about down payment? Do they have enough?
Down payment will
5%
be
cash, 20%.
25. Yeah. That one we haven't go into detail. I have to ask them. But if let's say that down payment is available, then it's to me it's a viable option. Of course, not saying that if the option is there, you should take it or you must take it. There are always ways that, let's say you don't want to overstretch yourself, you want to go something that's a little bit more comfortable first, start off your family planning and all that. Of course, doable as well. But what we're saying is that the option is there for you to take. Yeah, so consider it and then make a decision holistically, right? Their BTO they buy in Tengah. If a Tengah EC comes up, why not? Why not?
How much is this video?
492.
4
room. Four room.
Ooh.
Yeah. 5 room shouldn't be this price already. A bit high.
600 maybe.
Yeah, around there.
Actually, what a lot of young couples do is that because they need to first come out the 5%, 20%, right? Then the rest is progressive.
Yeah.
5% cash, maybe they have savings because 1.3 million is about 65,000. Then the balance, they have that CPF, which is close to about 100,000. Sometimes they will get a bit of support from their family first, like loan 150,000 first.
Parents' assistance.
Then take that construction period, they will save up annually and repay back their parents with interest lah. That's what some young couples do.
Yeah. And during this point in time, don't forget, if let's say both husband and wife do well in their career,
They
the
got
pay will still
bonus.
rise.
Yeah.
Bonus and all this. So I think combined income 12,000 plus is actually very healthy. So they have options to consider.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so your second option is EC if they can
EC.
come up with the down payment.
Brand new.
Right.
Just whack. No, really, because nowadays, take
The
for example
disparity is good.
look at Pasir Ris, look at Tampines. Amenities are all there already, right? It's mature estate. Transport nodes are fantastic, and then nowadays every single household is also within like a 10 minutes walk to an MRT.
Yeah.
Correct. Even if it's not now, there are plans in the future for it to be within 10 minutes walking distance to an MRT. So I do think that it's a option to consider.
I think in future, what do you think? This notion about MRT station, because it seems like in maybe another 5 years' time, we're already coming to the end of 2024. By 2030, the Cross Island line will be ready. It seems like everywhere there's an MRT station. So in future, condos are not just competing on MRT. They are really looking at other things already. Like what do you guys think?
Immune MRT factor.
It's like you MRT come
Yeah,
to
you
MRT.
got MRT, I also got MRT. Everybody got MRT. Then
Everybody will talk about my condo is there, but it doesn't matter anymore. It's like, what will they compete on?
I guess like something that is cannot compare one would be the schools. The school, there is only one ma. That time we talked before. Like let's say if it's an international French school, then there is a very strong French community there. If let's say there's a particular very popular primary school there, then there is only one in that Singapore, in the whole of Singapore. If that relocate, parents will follow the school one. Yeah, those will be the next factor because then MRT wouldn't be that much of a priority since everybody also have.
Maybe another factor is layout. I think layout will play a big factor. And that's why actually some properties in the resale market are starting to look interesting because of the layout differences.
For example, just say the project name.
Can name meh?
Can.
Really meh?
Can. Why cannot?
You're neutral.
Okay.
What projects do you like?
What projects do I like?
Yeah.
But the projects I like, the quantum a bit high.
Say lah.
What's the project?
Yeah, I'm writing on the screen now.
Projects that I like.
Yeah.
100 Pumps.
100 pounds, okay.
Oh.
Why?
It's a very interesting project.
Why?
Location is fantastic.
Okay. Is it got
Cross
Rosai?
Island Line is coming.
Okay.
That's one. Rosai, yes, another one.
Okay.
I would say in that area, actually, lack of prior properties is also another one. You're surrounded by a lot of HDB clusters. Hougang one more is there.
It's near two landed enclaves. One behind Kovan, one at Serangoon Garden.
And the layout is efficient. Yeah, efficient.
You like the layout?
I like the layout. It's efficient.
The
3-bedder yard plus utility. Like a one something square feet one.
141 something like that.
Yeah. So that 100 pounds haven't MOP yet lah. They're going to MOP this year, December. Right now, I think if you go on to Property Guru, there is one listing for sale. Early sale one. Top floor unit. I already checked it.
Now got three.
I'm eyeing it.
No,
Now
you're
got three
you're
already.
for yourself.
No, because I'm in the spring season, right? You see, who was the one who said bring me on this episode? Is it Daniel?
It's Melvin.
Was it Melvin?
Come on.
Daniel, great call, man. This
We will
episode
help you
is
explore.
perfect for me.
Correct.
It's
Come, we will
perfect for
explore
me.
your spring season now.
Yeah.
Which one? One what?
Got the
Is it
kitchen at the
one?
back one.
This
This one.
one
No.
No, not this one.
Not this one. This one.
1044.
This one. 1130. 1130.
This one.
Yeah. Is that right?
Is it this one? No, not the one without the entrance foyer one.
Without the entrance. Oh, yeah.
Or is it the 10 something? No, this is 4-bedder already. So this one.
Oh.
Why do you like this?
Okay. Couple of reasons.
Okay. This one also 3 plus yard plus utility.
No, but then the balcony,
The balcony extended to the bedroom.
Oh,
overly large.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this one.
Or rather, not say overly large. I just don't find use for that space
958 square
personally.
feet.
Beautiful.
Is
Is
it
it
this one?
958? 958. Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Without the void space one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about this.
The moment you enter the main door, no walkway.
Oh, no wasted space, okay?
Immediately into a dining space, can fit a 6-seater. Squeeze a bit, can fit an 8-seater. No problem. The wall on the side there, you can still put a bit of storage. You can still do a bit of storage where closer to where the DB box is. Right?
Okay, okay.
Living room, okay. My personal preference is that a landscape layout would be nice. But of course, you want good
The
location, price, and all this kind of thing. Sometimes you have to compromise on some things.
Sometimes the landscape one will come with an even bigger balcony
Because it extends through the length of the
Correct,
balcony.
correct.
So this one, very efficient.
Okay.
Balcony space, not too big, not too small. Right? And then it's special because got a bit of curve also.
Here?
I don't know,
curve
it's just a bit of
how,
curve that I
got
think is
curve-
special.
got
That's
curve
all.
can
Or maybe
put
I'm just
secret or not?
biased towards
No, then will you hack down this wall?
where I will do an open concept.
Oh,
Yeah,
then you
because
like this.
I personally don't cook much, right?
Oh.
Okay.
And even if I move in with my parents also don't cook much.
No,
so we
you
can do
you
a.
won't move in your parents.
Hey, I will.
You will have a girlfriend.
No, I will.
You like this also, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you see, the utility room got window. You put one helper there, still
That's
okay.
a helper room.
Yeah, helper's room.
Right.
Not take or anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because some utility room, no ventilation one.
Correct.
Very poor thing. So this one got window, got yard, got WC some more. If your utility not enough space, use the WC as a storeroom.
This is going to be your bachelor's pet.
Yes.
No lah.
No, you're buying this for what?
No, I may buy and rent it out.
Oh, okay, okay.
Then I continue to stay with my parents first.
You're buying this not for your own consumption.
Depends.
Depends
if
whether
at the point of
season
purchase,
is right.
if at the point of purchase, I have a partner and we have plans to move in together, then of course we'll explore moving in.
Oh,
But if not, I may rent it out. Then I continue to live with my parents first.
right.
Or we rent out my parents' place. Then my family move here.
So your decision here is for the ease of exit next time.
For sure. Exit is always in the mind one.
So because you know there's a lot of demand for this kind of layout.
Layout, yes. And
It's
you see,
not for your consumption because the way they are
No,
talking right
even-
is like an old soul.
it's a I'm spring, but my soul is in winter.
You're talking like you got like 3 kids, they're like an old soul.
Yeah.
Like, you're
No, wait,
40.
haven't finish. So you see the hallway, the word hallway cannot even feel the hallway. Because there's
Actually-
no way.
Okay.
Extremely efficient. Bedrooms all can fit a queen size bed, still can fit side table.
Right.
This is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, this is perfect. The only worry is what is the selling price like when the MOP.
right.
Yeah,
right,
because
right.
the PSF it has risen quite a bit.
How much is the PSF now? Asking
1,600
price.
to 1,007
Higher
asking.
already.
Someone they bought a
Affect
900 PSF, right?
Yeah.
Almost thumbs.
That's why the couple
It's a
hor,
fantastic
就
case
想了去买EC了。
Straight away earn like how much?
It's crazy.
$700.
Yeah.
Wow, then this is like easily 700k.
Both toilet naturally ventilated also.
Mm.
Solid.
£100 it was launched in a season where there were very few ECs.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm
And
gonna save this.
It was snapped up fully sold in like couple
100%.
hours.
Yeah. Full house. Like
Crazy.
98% sold.
Crazy. Yeah.
something.
£100 is just one of them.
Right.
There are other options to choose
That you
from.
like,
yeah.
yeah.
But I do think layout plays a huge factor in sometime down the road.
Mm.
If it's too big in the future, quantum may be an issue.
Right.
Mm.
And I mean, right now TDSI is what, 55%?
Yep.
If they slash it again, I mean, touch wood. This is wood, right?
Yeah, underneath is what.
You know,
Not
it's-
counted lah. Got
if-
black cloth.
If let's say they were to tweak something else,
Mm.
what else can they tweak?
They
Yes,
will.
buyer stamp duty.
I mean, like the few calibration that is like massive one is like, okay, if they announce LTV 75%, tomorrow if they announce to 70%, then we
Ouch.
all but cut already.
Oh my god, it's not really all about that.
ABSD, I think is like,
Already maxed out.
like please don't play around anymore. It's like very
Don't
max
touch it
already.
anymore, please.
It's like 60% now. It's like
Crazy.
20% for local. TDSR, if they
TDSR.
increase the internal stress test,
Stress test.
then
yeah.
it'll be another.
Now stress
issue.
test is what, 4.8?
4.8.
Yeah.
The interest rate came down a bit, but the stress test still the same.
I think it's about that, right?
Yeah.
Quite max already.
Yeah.
lah.
You see TDSR 55%. If it drops to 50, then how?
Oh my god. Oh, but cut. Many.
Yeah. Because our per quarter increment in terms of our price index is already stabilized already.
Mm.
It's like
Mm.
very minute. Per
And,
year is only about 5%.
You saw the foreign purchases drop to just 1.
yes.
Drop by 98%.
Yes.
60%.
Means wow, successful the 60%.
Of course,
ABSD.
goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, what Chin Wei has just talked about is what we call rentvesting,
Mm.
which I think is a very good strategy, especially, I mean, not for this profile, but this profile will work if, let's say, you have schools preferences
Mm.
and you don't want to be limited by your budget that if I buy near a prime school in a prime area, I can only afford one bedder. So instead of letting your down payment be trapped in a one bedder in the, let's say, CCR region,
Mm.
you can explore owning something that is exitable.
Yep.
With a huge future audience like in the OCR area, then you go and rent somewhere else near to the school for 30 months. But actually, like recently I know of like quite a fair bit of like bachelors and singles,
Mavericks.
Mavericks and also
Jun
Charmaines.
Wei's.
So for Mavericks and Charmaines, right? You guys are high income earner below 35. You all should actually adopt this strategy of rentvesting. Because sometimes you go straight into CCR, you get a one bedder, but the psychology that I realized over the years is that a lot of resale buyers for one bedder,
Mm.
they like to buy new launch because they are also Charmaines and Mavericks. They are like you that love to buy new launches one bedder. So sometimes the resale market, if you want to exit a one bedder, it will take long. But if you want to exit a three bedder in OCR, it's very fast. So you might want to consider buying an OCR three bedder,
Mm.
then go and rent a one bedder in CCR. Yeah, but of course, if you truly love a CCR one bedder, please go ahead by all means, or two bedder by all means. Yeah. Okay. Are you in this season? Is this
No,
you?
no. I have already.
Are you single or attached?
So we actually have this very interesting
yeah.
property ROI in our website, but accessible for us only, right? For consultants only.
Yes.
So clients, if you want to know, so sorry, you all need to contact us. We will work out all the numbers for you. It's available, but through us. It's available.
Screen check as well on how we look like.
Mic testing.
Fantastic. All right. Are we ready?
Right.
Are we?
Rolling already? Okay, great.